Where are you, Lissy?
I'm upstairs.
Okay, sie ist wieder oben.
Teddy? Is that you?
Ja, ich bin das.
Where are you, Lissy?
In the bedroom.
Okay. Muss irgendwas sein, ne?
This is her room.
Hmm?
Are you paying attention? Ruth. Can you imagine? One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever. Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic. I'll help you look. There's still no sign of the Fretlands.
Maybe they left town after Ruth died.
What's the point of this? I should be...
She made her bed that morning. Before she...
Or her parents did. It doesn't matter. It tells us nothing.
Why are you like this today? Betty's not the only person in the world that matters.
She matters the most to me.
Ain't that the truth? Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet, she was 8. Ruth never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
For Banelson. The curse.
What is that figure supposed to be? It's creepy.
A figment of her imagination. But the box she drew. It looks like this box under her desk.
Really? Let me see. Pull it out.
Kann es auch was mit dem Wikinger-Viech zu tun haben? Oh.
What is this?
I believe this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
Not in terms of monetary value, but historically. Well, they belong in a museum.
Looks like Ruth had her own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were just shiny toys. Wait! The pin! On the doll!
This is where it came from, her collection.
But where did she find these treasures?
A dig, a grave site. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things.
Ich frage mich, ob so ein alter Wikinger ja, Wesen, weißt du, wie schon öfters gab in Spielen, dass das vielleicht hier unterwegs ist. Kann ja auch sein. Weil sie hat ja hier auch so ein Viech gemalt, siehst du?
What am I looking for?
Anything out of the ordinary. Something that could explain what happened to Ruth.
This is real life, not a Draugen.
Hey, the undead monster from those folk tales you read.
What an odd book for a child to have.
I don't know. Children love scary stories. This looks interesting. Read some of it to me.
So ein Wikinger-Mythos, weißt du? Da.
She found something.
Where's that supposed to be?
A cave. Or the...
Mine. It could be. But what did she find?
Her Viking treasure. Of course. This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle. Simon and his father on the other.
A community divided.
Die Person in der Mitte hat sich komplett rumgedreht. Die gucken sich alle beide links an und rechts auch. Außer in der Mitte. Die Person, die guckt nach hinten. Dass man nur die Haare sieht. Ich kann doch nicht raus. Da muss auch was sein.
She made her bed that morning. Before she...
Or her parents did. It doesn't matter. It tells us nothing.
Why are you like this today? Betty's not the only person in the world that matters.
She matters the most to me.
Ain't that the truth?
Habe ich was übersehen? Das Buch, das kann ich noch anklicken. Ach so.
In Norwegian folklore, the appearance of Draugen, the reanimated corpse of a drowned mariner, heralds death. Draugen haunts the black seas in a shattered boat. The beast has a man's body and wears a sou'wester, but instead of a head, there is tangled seaweed, and the revenant's chilling cry freezes mortal blood to ice. Draugen has the power to enter the dreams of the living. If you wake from such a dream, you have been spared, though someone close to you... That's enough of that. It's nonsense, of course. Not something a child should be reading.
Do you think Draugen took our boat? Maybe he's out there, on the fjord, waiting for nightfall so he can return to shore.
No.
Your soul lacks poetry, Edward Charles Harden. I pity you.
Jetzt kann ich bestimmt raus, ne? Nee, ich kann immer noch nicht raus. Was fehlt mir jetzt noch? Achso, da ist ein Bild.
That must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear.
Sie hat aber eine Spange gehabt, guck mal. Das habe ich vorhin schon gesehen. So eine altmodische Spange, so wie es aussieht, ne? Weil über den Kopf sowas ist. Sieht aus wie so eine alte
There's a story
Gurkenspange.
here. The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
Well, she didn't imagine the Viking artifacts. You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic
This
events.
is what happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth was troubled. The village was troubled, and... Is that a bell?
Church bell. Someone's here. Maybe... Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps she's in trouble.
Oh my
I need to get to
God.
the church right now.
Wait, isn't it more likely to be the person you saw the other night? We should be careful.
I told you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
Go ahead. I'll catch up with you before you get there.
Der sieht überall Betty, der geht mir auf den Sack. Der ist ja schlimm mit seiner Betty. Gehen wir mal hin zur Kirche. Ja, ich komme, Betty. Meine Betty, ich komme. Okay. Jetzt erwartet uns ein Monster, das uns fressen tut. Okay. So, ich guck nochmal hier raus.
July 24th. Memorial service. A commemoration of the accident at the mine this past summer. No services after that.
Zeichnen? Nee, will ich jetzt nicht. Ich will hier rein.
All these fresh graves.
Hi Miko, ich grüße dich.
Do you think that maybe Betty
Why board up a church?
to keep the ghosts from escaping?
Regardless of how they got past the boards, there's someone in there.
Gone fishing?
God is not here.
Well, of course he isn't. You won't find God in a church. God is the wind in the trees, the grass between your toes, the brook that runs
That's
through.
nature, not God.
Who did this?
Someone who'd lost their faith.
Can you peek through the boards? See anyone?
No,
Listen! The bell! They're still in there!
Hello? I heard the bell.
Well, this is giving me
I'm
the
here to help.
heebie-jeebies.
These boards look flimsy enough to break.
Look at that. The Ethel becomes an Edward. Didn't think you had it in you, old fruit.
Be quiet. Betty? Are you here?
Oh, der
Hello?
mit seiner doofen Betty.
This is Edward Harden. I'm looking for my sister, Elizabeth.
Stop shouting, Edward. We're alone. There are only ghosts here. What's this rope for?
The bell. Lissy. Look. Betty's gloves. They are definitely Betty's.
Oh, for
She got
Pete's
these in
sake.
Boston before she left for New York. She bought them at Woolworth. I remember the day
Woolworth.
She's here.
Where? And why would she leave her clothes lying around? It doesn't make
Breadcrumbs.
sense.
She's sending me a message. She knew I'd recognize her gloves. Her hat. She's left a trail for me to follow, like Ariadne's red thread.
We're not in a labyrinth.
Betty will have left more crumbs.
Betty. You're turning into such a pill.
Du kleiner Damien. Oh, Mitkoch, wie geht's dir? Alles klar bei dir? War dein Tag cool?
What happened here?
The sign on the door. God is not here. Their faith was challenged. The church book, a record of births and deaths.
So we can find out what happened to the people in the village?
And Elizabeth. I mean, if she was dead.
Her name would be in the book.
Vandals. Tore it to pieces.
I don't think the missing pages left the church. Look. The final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. Most folks aren't heathens, like you. I've never seen you read the Bible before.
For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Old English?
I happen to know the verse by heart.
You still manage to surprise me sometimes.
Ja, dann viel Spaß beim Reiten. Cowboy-Reiten hier. Da sind die Seiten.
How many pages are missing?
I counted 4.
They're probably all still here. I know. Let's make it a competition. 1-0 to Team Me. The final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. What's that?
The last sermon that was held here.
What does it say?
The vicar's handwriting is hard to decipher, and the language. He talks about the village being divided for 20 years. This sermon was held on the anniversary of the accident this past summer. He's asking the congregation to help heal old wounds, to forgive, move on. Something to the effect of, you sit in separate aisles in God's house.
Like Ruth's drawing. I told you, she was perceptive.
Fluch, Vergebung. Fangen wir mit Vergebung an.
Edward?
Forgive each other. It addresses Johann and Frederick directly. But I wonder if they were even here.
Remember the wedding picture? They were close friends once. How could they allow their grudge to escalate until...
You call each other traitors, but the only thing you've betrayed are the bonds that unite us.
Ja, wir waren heute auch schon ein bisschen warm, Mikko.
It sounds like Grovik was split in two, between those who stood by Johann and those who supported Frederick.
Because of Ruth?
This sermon is from before that. No, this is all about the preceding 20 years of division and disagreements. Here's something else. Many of you believe Grovik was cursed 20 years ago. God has not cursed you. This curse is of your own making.
Ruth's drawing mentioned a curse. What do you think that means?
It means they believed they were cursed, and that they needed something or someone to blame for their misfortune.
Okay. Das ist ein bisschen erfahren wir jetzt immer mehr Story davon. Finde ich schon. Ah, da liegt noch ein Zettelchen von meinem Adresse nicht, aber
They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it. This was an act.
I wanted you to find that one. I know what a rotten loser you are.
Ja. So, ein Zettelchen fehlt uns noch.
Found another one.
Aha.
You get it. It's right here.
Gut, nun haben wir alle.
Just one more page missing.
Ich mache auch nicht mehr lange vorne heute das Spiel. Ich werde den Rest dann morgen machen wahrscheinlich. Da war ich schon. Ich finde es recht interessant. Pen gut, war Fräulein?
This is the bell we heard ringing?
I don't see any other bells.
So you have to stand here and pull this rope to ring it.
Yes. What are you doing? We're in a church.
Thought you didn't believe in God.
I do believe in civility.
Okay, weiter. Die hört eh nicht auf uns. Ich mach mal hier lang. Ich mal wissen, wo wir hier hinkommen. Sackgasse.
Where are you going?
Ich gucke. Okay, was ist hier? Hier ist auch nichts. Okay. Jo, Fräulein, du pennst auch gut, war schnarch gut. Und bis morgen dann. Ich bin morgen wieder da mit Outlaws und dann werden wir den Rest hier noch weiterspielen. Weil ich denke mal, durchkommen werden wir heute eh nicht. Ich hätte gedacht, die Kleine ist hier runtergesprungen.
What are you doing?
Was willst du denn? Was willst du denn jetzt noch?
We need to find all the pages.
Alle Seiten. Ich habe doch alle, oder? Ich habe gedacht, ich habe alle. Wo sind die anderen?
So what happened to the Hunchback of Grovik? We need to find all the pages.
Da ist Kerzchen. Vorne Leuchter. Da ist aber nichts. Und hochkommen tun wir auch nicht. Ja, ich habe den anderen, den ersten mitgezählt. Was ich nicht verstehe. Ich habe doch jetzt eigentlich alles hier abgesucht. Und das kann ja nicht sein. Die Glocke kann ich nicht bedienen hier.
The missing pages must be here somewhere.
Hier auch nicht.
Where are you going?
Okay. Nochmal zurück. Hier ist noch sowas. Ich glaube, draußen wird das Ding auch nicht sein. Also nur in der Kirche. Oder liegt doch vielleicht einer draußen irgendwo auf dem Grabstein. Und hier ist nichts. Ja, sie fragt schon, wo ich nicht gehe. Gibt doch hier einer draußen? Einer kann er nicht sein, oder? Nee. Also nur in der Kirche. So. Letzte Reihe. Hier ist nichts. Hier ist nichts. Hier ist auch nichts. Hier auch nicht. Hier auch nicht. Hier auch nicht. Hier auch nicht. Und dann bin ich schon vorne. Okay, müssen wir wegräumen. Liegt die vielleicht da drunter?
They
Da
considered
drin?
this a sacred place.
Nee.
For them to destroy it. This was an act of desperation and anger.
Hm. Das ist Seil. Kann ich auch nicht bedienen. Hättest du einen Einfall dazu da? Nee, wa? Kann ihr Ding
We
nicht
need to find all
bedienen?
the pages.
Da wo du rumguckst hier, Mädel? Nee, wa? Nee. Hm. Hi, Murmel, wie geht's dir? Ja, wir suchen die Schwester in dem Spiel und gehen so einen kleinen Mordfall hinterher. Und ist ein bisschen alles mysteriös hier. Ach so, guck mal, da ist eine Kerze.
Isn't this a fire hazard?
They're not always lit. Each candle represents a single prayer.
That's a lot of...
They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it. This was for he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Old English?
I happen to know the
Kann ich
verse by
leider nicht
heart.
aufheben, nein.
You still manage to surprise me sometimes.
Warte mal, hinter dem Bild vielleicht?
Jesus
Nee.
looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Don't be blasphemous.
Given that this is all fiction, blasphemy is a contradiction.
Heretic.
Verstehe ich nicht. Wenn ich hier rangehe, habe ich zuerst gedacht in der Schale. Da kann ich nichts machen.
For them to destroy it. This was an act of desperation and anger.
Ich habe schon gedacht, dass wir eine Glocke bedienen und dass dann da irgendwas passiert, weil der Kronleuchter ist ja auch runtergekracht hier. Aber wir kommen ja nicht hoch. Ist ja auch kein Punkt, wo ich was anklicken kann als Hilfspunkt irgendwie. Verstehe ich nicht. Soweit ich rausgehe, meckert sie. Oder? Nee. Nehmen. Blatt aufheben. Was? Liegt da ein Blatt? Wo? Also ich bin jetzt vorne. Also umgekippte Kommode kannst du aufheben, oder? Da ist sie doch. Neben dem Predigt rechts. Was? Wo? Hä? Bin ich jetzt bescheuert? Wahrscheinlich, oder? Das hatten wir eben. Hier meinst du? Hier ist... Ach, oh Gott. Ja, okay. Oh.
2 for 2. A tie. Good job, Teddy. Old
Stop,
bean.
Lissy. This is not a game. Betty's out there.
Of horse feathers. Stop being so gosh darn tedious, Edward. Betty, Betty, Betty. Will you ever shut up about your precious Betty? Put those pages back in the book, and I'll stop trying to cheer you up.
Die Blätter vor anderen Blättern nicht gesehen, so ungefähr. Oh mein Gott. Danke. Ich habe es mal früh neu gesucht.
This book goes back years. It lists births and deaths. Here's the third Fretland brother, the one who died in a cave-in. Someone added the word for Banelson, probably quite recently.
What does that mean again?
Curse. That word is all over this book. Not just the men who died in the mine, but other deaths in the last 20 years.
Ruth's drawing and the sermon both mentioned a curse. What do you think it means?
I don't know. There were surprisingly few births.
Perhaps they blame that on the curse as well.
Look here. Ruth Elsa Fretland. She was buried in the cemetery. And the next entry, Simon Fretland. Now this is interesting.
Simon is dead? Oh, that's dreadful.
He drowned the day after Ruth died. Probably no coincidence. See what's scribbled next to it?
Mord?
Murder.
Who killed him? Ruth's father? Or the mob that trashed the store?
It doesn't say. After the children, a half-dozen deaths in a single week.
The curse.
It's listed as the cause for every single death.
Maybe there really was a curse.
Primitive superstition. But something changed after Ruth and Simon. It might explain why there's no one around.
Edward, if it killed everyone, how's that not a curse? What does that word say? Next to those names at the bottom.
Traitor.
Ja.
Edward? What's wrong?
The final entry. There's no name. Alice, what if...
Oh, Edward, no.
Betty.
It doesn't mean she's...
She's not dead. She can't be. I'd know.
Teddy.
I need to see the grave for myself. It's not Betty. Betty's still alive.
Teddy? Where are you going? Don't leave me! Edward!
You better not be here, Betty. I'll never forgive you. Where is it?
What are you doing?
Looking for the unmarked grave. This one. It's unmarked.
What are you doing? Have you gone completely mad? Edward, stop it!
Thank God. It's not her.
Oh, der ist eine scheiß Betty, ey.
It's not her.
Oh, Edward. What have you done?
It's not Elizabeth. I was so afraid.
You're a monster.
But I had to be sure. If Betty...
To hell with your Betty! When did she ever shed a tear for you?
Don't talk about my baby sister like
Or
that.
what? Or what, Edward? What will you do? Ignore us? Banish us? You've spent your entire life chasing her. When are you going to do something useful with what's left of it?
Quiet! Just leave me be.
Fine.
What?
See? Alice,
Hä?
come back. Don't leave me alone. Please. Come back. I need you.
Die Leiche gibt's aber. Okay. Ja, die Leichen sind noch nicht so alt. Wir haben jemanden gefunden, der hat sich erhangen. Ah. Da sitzt sie.
I was afraid you'd left me. Now listen to me. No!
Ich wollte gerade quatschen mit ihr. Ist sie da unten? Ja. Ich muss schneller reagieren. Ja. Oh, blöde Kuh. Nicht du. Die blöde Lissy hier.
Lissy, please listen to me. I didn't mean what I said.
Oh meine
Of
Fresse.
course you meant it. Everything's always about Betty. Betty, Betty.
I care about you both.
Until it really matters. Then it's obvious who matters more.
I thought she was dead.
I wish she was!
Don't.
Learn to be alone.
Please, talk to me.
What's there to talk about?
You can't keep running away from me.
You think you own me? That you control me? That you get to decide how I feel and what I do every minute of every day? That I'm your puppet, your little plaything? Well, fuck you, Edward Charles Harden!
Hallo.
I never should have come here with you on this pointless chase!
Now, be reasonable.
Was hast du gesagt, Murmel? Bitte, ich rufe jetzt
What
die
are you
Ghost.
doing?
What I should have done years ago. Maybe now you'll learn to appreciate this.
Now listen to me. Please listen. Hear me out. Don't do this.
Kann nichts
Can't
angucken.
do this to me. I need you. I'm not whole without you. I can't lose you. I can't live without you. Don't, please, don't, no. What? No! Oh, Alice. What have you done? Please, be all right. Please, don't.
You make me sick, Edward. Your mother and father would be ashamed. Elizabeth would be ashamed. They did not think you deserved their love, so they abandoned you.
Don't.
Oh, my child. We are all that you have, and we love you. We are here. With us, you are never alone. Do not forget.
No. Never. I never forget. I am never alone.